Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is the House of Law. If you're new to this channel, my name is Al Jamrani. I'm a lawyer and a law professor. I created this channel in order to discuss the law subjects, and hopefully every legal concern that affect lawyers, law students, or other people. I started this channel way back in late May, and I'm happy to know that there are now 700 subscribers. Yes, you heard that right. 700, not 700,000, but 700 subscribers. I know it's a long way to go before 700,000, but I am happy that you 700 subscribers find this channel helpful and maybe educational. I don't know you, I don't see your faces because we don't really create our individual profiles on YouTube. Most of us just have a Google account, and then we watch videos, we subscribe to the channels that we like, but this is not Facebook, this is not Instagram. But at any rate, I know you're just there. I know that we are starting to grow as a community, and so I will answer your questions, I will react to your comments, because that's how we, of course, make this channel grow. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to the 700 subscribers, and here's to the next 700 up to 700,000 or more. Okay, anyway, so since it's been a month since I last made a video, so this time we will talk about a new legal topic or a new law related topic. And what a better topic to discuss than, of course, the office of the president. Of course, this is not motivated by whatever your concern or your opinion about our president, but this is because a few days ago, President Donald Trump of the United States debated against the Democratic Party nominee Joe Biden. And if you watch that debate, boy, it was excruciating to watch. But if you haven't watched it yet, you can always check on YouTube for video of that debate. I think it's around 90 minutes long. So I sat through it, but I think I took like three breaks, and also I think I was eating at some point of the debate, and it was one of the worst debates I've ever seen. These are presidents, and or one is an incumbent president, the other one is an aspirant for the office of the president, and their personalities overwhelmed their plans or whatever they wanted to do for their country, and I can't really blame them for that, because that's politics. And so today I would like to talk about the office of the president of the Philippines. Okay, maybe we will create or produce another video for the comparison, meaning to say comparing the president of the United States and president of the Philippines. But for today, because of what's happening in the United States, and also because our president, the Philippine president, hasn't always been away from the news. Almost every day he is in the news. Why not? Because he is the president, right? Here in the Philippines, of course, in a few months we will start hearing names of aspirants for the office of the president, because we will be having our elections in 2022, and most probably by late next year, or if not middle of 2021, we will be hearing names or watching propaganda videos of aspiring candidates. So who are your guesses? Who do you think will be running for president? Could it be this, or could it be her? Okay, so we don't know yet. Everyone's so preoccupied with the pandemic, or just thinking how to survive, and I think the 2022 elections occupy the last thing in our minds right now. So this is the House of Law, and let's begin talking about the office of the president. So who is the president? In a presidential form of government like the Philippines, the president is the chief executive. He is also the head of state. Now, of course, in other countries where the form of government is different, like monarchical form of government or a parliamentary form of government, they have a different head of state there, or a head of government. So in a monarchy, the head of state could be a king, an emperor, or a monarch, such as a queen, right? Now, in a parliamentary form of government, the head of government is the prime minister, but usually the head of state would be a titular person or a symbolic person, such as a king or an emperor or a monarch like a queen, or even a president. But here in the Philippines, the president of the Philippines is both the head of state and the head of government. Now, the powers of government are, of course, not concentrated on the president alone. The powers of the government are distributed among three branches or three departments. We have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. Because our legislative branch here is composed of two chambers. The upper house is the Senate, and the lower house is, of course, the House of Representatives. But they are co-equal. In fact, their legislative powers blend, and both houses should approve the bill coming from the other. Now, the executive branch is headed by the president. So that's why he is called the chief executive. The judicial branch is headed by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. But the judicial branch is not the Supreme Court alone, but rather the judicial branch is composed of the Supreme Court and all other lower courts that may be created by law. So our lower courts include the appellate courts like the Court of Appeals, the Sandigan Bayan, and the Court of Tax Appeals, and the lower trial courts like the regional trial courts and the municipal trial courts. So there, that's our form of government in a nutshell. So let's now talk about the president. You see, to be president, we have specific qualifications, and you will be surprised. The qualifications are very, very minimal. So according to Article 7, Section 2, okay, the following are the qualifications. First, the candidate for the office of the president must be a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. This means that a foreigner cannot run for president in the Philippines. Also, a foreign-born Filipino cannot run for the president. And lastly, a former Filipino who has been naturalized abroad cannot also run for president. And yeah, let's include, of course, a foreigner who is naturalized here in the Philippines. Even though he is already a Filipino, he cannot run for the office of the president. According to the drafters of the Constitution, we should reserve that position to those who were born here in the Philippines. Okay, next requirement is that he or she must be at least 40 years old. Now, as to the academic or educational requirements, well, the Constitution only says he or she must be able to read and write. There's not even a requirement that he is a graduate of elementary or high school. Provided that he can read and write, then he can run for the office of the president. Well, after all, because the president need not be the smartest person in the country. Also, he must be a registered voter in the Philippines. Also, another qualification is that he must have been a resident of the Philippines for at least 10 years. Okay, so those are the qualifications to be the president of the Philippines. So basically, I am already 41 years old. I was born here in the Philippines. I've been a resident of the Philippines for my entire life. I am able to read and write, and I'm a registered voter. So I guess I can run for president, right? But then again, being a president or running for president is not a simple thing. It's not a simple decision. Because you see, the president of the Philippines is not just the chief executive or the head of state. He's also the chief implementer. He is the chief policy maker. As a matter of fact, he is also commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Philippines. There is too much on the shoulders of the president. And we have seen it, we have observed it, okay, not just in this presidency, but also in the past. I think this has started with President Marcos, who accumulated too much power, and because of that too much power, he was able to do a lot of things and changes in the country, which changes and things, devolved into and reached even the individual lives of the Filipinos. So that's why the president of the Philippines is a very strong and very relevant president. Unlike in other countries where their presidents are only a national figure, but here the president is even a local figure. Policies come from the president. If the president says, this is what we need right now. So during the State of the Nation address, which usually happens in the month of July of every year, when the president states his plan for the next year and recommends certain legislative measures, those legislative measures are usually adopted by the legislature. So that's how important or how relevant the office of the president is. Now, moving forward, with this pandemic where every Filipino has been, held hostage by this virus, where a lot of Filipinos have lost their jobs. A lot of students haven't gone to school because of the prohibitive requirements of online schooling. I think everyone is looking to the president for solutions. And so it's a challenge, it's a daunting task to be president. I think no one envies the position of the president right now. And the president is trying his best to address several issues and several concerns, not just the medical or the health issues brought about by this pandemic. But that's it. That's the power of the president. That's what president's office is about. We look to the president for leadership, and at the same time, as president, he has immense powers to change our lives and bring us forward, especially when we consider this present situation that we are in. So the Constitution provides for the powers and the functions of the president, and even the limitations on the powers of the president. But at the end of the day, what makes a good president is really the person who sits on that position. So I hope you were able to learn a few things from this video. Again, the requirements are very simple. It's easy to become a president, but it's very difficult to be one. Okay, so in the next video, maybe I will talk about the difference between the President of the Philippines and the President of the United States, hopefully before the Americans vote for the next president. Okay, so again, if you like this video, please don't forget to drop a like. If you have some questions or comments, please do write down in the comment section below. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel. Click on that notification bell so you get notified of a new video from this channel. So again, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.